So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to actually clear the air. First and foremost, I'm asking the audience to not bash the person for reaching out. Do not bash the person for not listening to the narrative, because none of us is listening to the narrative. But with that said, everyone, Panda here, and I want to recap. And I wanted to make sure that everyone has a clear understanding how to conduct a legitimate and understanding business practice. Doing things under the table is not practical. That makes you not want to learn how to financially and mentally and educate yourself how to practice the LLC contracts are given, or the LLC partnerships that are given. But this guy reached out earlier today and tried to say that he would like to have a 15% finder's fee. And I was trying to explain to him that that's not going to happen, and it's not going to ever happen, because every cent and every percentage, in my point of view, and I hope he takes this with a grain of salt, is that it matters to me. And as I said and tried to explain to him in the past, I have hired assistants to help me many times in the past. I literally, as someone that has filed taxes, have to explain where the money is being allocated to. And this is where he, in this video, he wanted to say, in the middle of a conversation, then do it under the table. And how would you learn how to own your own business if you want to do things under the table? There's two ways, everybody. You can do it under the table and learn from it, and then learn the consequences from it. Or you can watch someone else do it and watch and observe what not to do, and show them that you can do it better the legitimate way, without putting anyone else in harm's way. Because when you do it under the table, you're also putting yourself in harm's way, just financially and medically. If you're not, or you don't have medical support or medical insurance or financial insurance or travel insurance, yeah. So with that said, everyone, I just want to clear the air, and I don't want people to bash him for trying to reach out, but I want people to have a conversation with him, but you can't reach out and then attack me and say I'm begging for tires for a wagon. At all the money we spent on 5 wagons in 4 months. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to my Amazon. I put all this together. I'm like, yep, that's 5 wagons, and that's a lot of money being spent back and forth, and a lot of time, and a lot of JB Well, and a lot of going to the hardware store. I just want to emphasize story and narrative, because people are not listening to the narrative. You want to listen to the narrative? The narrative is in 2021 October, and I'm going to say this for the last time. Look back at the videos, how this all really started. We were kind of fine, living down to our last couple of $1,000. But we came back in October of 2021, and we got all that shit stolen. Now, what do you want me to do? Can't travel? Can't even buy the alcohol. If I smoke cigarettes, can't even buy cigarettes while showing ID in New York City. They ID you. You know how frustrating that was for me not to have identification? Why do you think I was always on 5th Avenue, 77 near the consulate, or at a U.S. immigration office? Why do you think in all those 2021 videos, I was always in Manhattan near a facility or an agency or a safe haven? There was an issue. And this is why people don't think about my safety when I was thinking about my safety, even though I know Manhattan was a bit of toxic. But this guy did make a point in our video, in this conversation. He said, you should focus more on the photography and video and reviews. And he's right. That's what we are trying to do. But when you have a bunch of people that are misguided and not listen to the narrative, it is really hard to get through that person as a whole. Because now this person is only fixated about, oh, well, you've been asking for help. What's against, when has it been against the law to ask for help? Never. It's a choice that most people are afraid to ask in the first place. Am I right or wrong? People want to feel like they can embrace their problems, which I did at first. We did that, remember? But for you to ask me for 15%, you're literally taking 15% from like my website, which is going to be paid every month. Or we could pay it for a year, which is quite the expense. What is it, $120 a year? Or something like that? Yeah. See, that's the 15% that can go into something that can help me still continue to grow. And this is where you failed, as you claim to be someone that does networking. And if you're going to network, please network as my clients have networked through LinkedIn. I have a professional LinkedIn account for those reasons. This is how I get my clients to understand who I am. Oh, you can go into this route and see what I used to do, what was my other work that you don't see on YouTube, films that I don't want to process on YouTube. I want to put it on LinkedIn, because this is where I'm going to get an opportunity on LinkedIn. Yes, I'm not promoting LinkedIn. LinkedIn didn't ask me to do this. I just like using the platform because Facebook is dead. And it's not very good for networking as well, because I get a lot of spam now. When I was networking on Facebook, mind you, now I was getting spam group invites from homeless groups talking about, oh, we can help you in your problem. But it was all spam. Why would you? It was a scam. And I pointed out to a lot of YouTubers, and everyone knew, oh yeah, we know about this. Like, oh yeah, I'm just making sure. Yeah, there's a scam, how to scam how to scam you into thinking this person is homeless. Or what they do is they use another person's profile and story. Yeah, that's why you gotta look online, see if anyone's using your stories or your video. That's the number of work that I have to do personally. At least once a week. Look throughout the internet. Look if see anyone is trying to defamate your character or use your content in the wrong way. And that has happened to a lot of homeless individuals, including Jake McLaurin. Someone was using his videos, it got shut down, and it kept getting worse. It just getting worse. And then it stopped. It happened to another YouTuber, my Japanese friend, Miro. She's having a hard time finding a job in Japan right now, and everyone's supporting her very financially. And mind you, I introduced you guys to her. No, I'm not. I will surprise you when I get there. Just put it that way. Right now, I am in the process of relocating. Just put it that way. But as I'm saying, I introduced you guys to my Japanese friend. You guys went to her channel, threw so much money at her, and you know what she said? The problem with the money was the men, the perverts. The come to America and I could put you up in house. You see that? And this is why I was telling her that this is why I don't like asking and didn't want to ask for help, because you get that kind of shit as a female, but as a male you get this hostility issue. You see the difference? That's not being fair. You show more favoritism towards female than not the male. It's supposed to be a fair situation. We both are in the same situation. We're both having a good time trying to get back to what is normal. What is normal in 2023, everybody? What is normal? But for someone to ask me for 15%, listen, friend, it wasn't disrespectful. It was just you wasn't thinking clearly about, am I taking from you? Yes. What 15% can do for me? A lot. Just 5% of that can just go into website. Another 5% can maybe go into, I don't know, phone bill. Another 5% could go into, like, I don't know, food. These are the calculations that I do that you don't do. This is why when Michael Collins threw $20, I knew exactly where to go that day, because I just saw a sale at the vintage thrift store, and I was like, I'm getting me the pants. So I did wisely by spending $20 on 4 pair of pants that can cost you more than $100. Mind you, they are name brand pants that are in excellent condition. All I do have to do, even though it's seam washed, but still, I wash them in the water that I want to use. I wash all my colors in cold water. I wash all my whites or my light color clothes in warm water. With baking soda with the warm water for the white color clothes. But baking soda, teaspoon, and make sure, yeah. I'm not going to show you how I'm washing clothes, everybody. I'm just giving you context on how I calculate things. This is on my mind all the time. Calculating, analyzing, programming this in my head. Making sure, like, okay, this should give me, I should get to plan B to deer in 23 minutes. It says estimate, but I went through this trip before, so I know the estimate is inaccurate. So I'm going to estimate it like I always have estimated at 33 minutes. Simple as that. You guys, and this is why I'm trying to educate this brother or this guy or this sister or this young woman. I don't know the person. They never said the name, their sex, so that's the. But I was just telling a person, take it with a grain of salt. I have done this before. You make it sound like this is my first rodeo. It's not. Guys, you have not looked at my YouTube channel clearly, and this is what I'm trying to emphasize to him too. Look back at 2015 when I was traveling around the world buying fucking lenses and going here, going there, going to these fancy places and doing photography and testing out mostly Rokinon lenses and Samyang lenses when it was first branded back then. And Hani Seba, a Sony photographer, would testify to that, because we were testing Samyang lenses all the time. I was testing the Cine lenses, he was testing the f-stops. That's how we were networking. That's networking, friend. He was in Australia, and where was I at the time? Holy shit. I was in San Francisco, Portland, I went back to Winnipeg. Yeah. And we were just playing with Sony. Then we gave up and went back to Sony lenses because, back then, Samyang lenses back then had an issue with focus breathing, and it was heavy. Yeah. And some ghosting issues. And it wasn't great for the f-stop series, even though it did show promises in sharpness, contrast, but when it comes to the Cine lenses, they were good, but that focus breathing was like, if you were in a shot and you had to record 20 seconds of that, I would say 14 seconds of that would be doable, when you should have a clean, good 20 seconds, even though you pre-shoot it anyway before you take a clipboard and your take. But I digress. But this is the things that this guy is not analyzing on my YouTube channel. Like, before all of this, friends, you guys were coming to my channel and getting free stuff, asking me like, "Ooh, can you test this on a Sony camera with the Godox stuff? Can you test this softbox?" Look at my old content and you'll see it. But no one wants to focus on that, because that's not really what's going on today. But it is. This man or this woman asked me to give them 15%, not knowing that every cent at this moment and at this time counts. If I'm asking for help, why would you ask me for 15%? Think about it. If I'm asking you as an audience, and I have a civil liberty, my man or my lady, to ask the civilian population to help me out with a problem, when we actually told you the problem the first day we got the wagon. These wheels are not going to last. We noticed when they got wet, they got too soft. Again, like the last TMZ wagon back in 2022, the same thing happened. TMZ switched wheels, and we weren't a big fan of that. And we told TMZ don't do that, and they listened. But we didn't like how the back wheels were too close to each other and they would lock up, causing the columns or the joint picture of that column to break by force when it gets jammed or locked up. See? This is things you guys don't study or you don't assess when you buy a product. You don't take the time to analyze it better, but I do. I have some amazing people that are not my family that raised me enough to teach me these things, to be very aware. And now when I tell a story or a transparent story, it's still not good enough. So with that said, everyone, oh wow, this truck stop is crazy. A lot of trucks, right? It's a lot of fucking trucks. Yeah, man, it doesn't make sense why you. I'm not saying that you didn't know, you didn't analyze it yourself, but now you can analyze this and say like, yeah, damn, that's true, or you can say it's false. I don't know, but it is true. If I'm asking for help, why would you ask me to give you that help? Basically, people are giving me 15% of their help, and you're taking it from it. Think about that. Analyze that for a second, my friend. This is why I told you no 3 times, and you still wouldn't accept. But you went on the you didn't go on a rampage. You went on a rant about me begging about asking for the wheels, and you asked me, ladies and gentlemen, in this conversation, I could play it. He said it that I should stop making videos about what was going on in the park with the gays and what. I was like, first of all, no one planned that. This is why you fairly lacked the narrative. No one planned that for me to happen in the park. No one planned it. Okay? We expect people in New York City to literally stop touching people without consent. I'm sleeping, my dude, in a sleeping bag. What makes you think I'm asking you to touch me while I'm sleeping in a sleeping bag with my face cover? You must have Superman X-ray. That I must be like over the blanket. You know how you put the sleeping bag over your face? You must be like, hey, touch me but I can't see you. Think about that, friends. Look, your comments are not rational or not more thoughtful. To tell me to stop recording and I'm like, no, that needs to be documented, friend. These are behaviors that people put other people at risk doing in the park. First of all, no one has a right to touch anyone at any given time. I don't care if a person was gay. As I said, even a gay person would say this, or someone that is into the same sex would say, still, no one has the right to touch you. Period. What are you? You're politicians now? You want to take uterus? You want to take my diggling away like you took the uterus? You want to be in control of my fucking dick? It's funny how people literally leave these comments without even rationalizing or thinking about what they're saying, without looking at the videos in full. This is why people have poor judgments in 2023 now. And Yuki and everyone that I'm still talking to, and even my sponsors and people like, we watch them like, Panda, just sometimes like, I know what you're doing. You're trying to help people understand this, but there are sometimes you can't get through people. They're too absorbed in that fiction reality, that false reality, that is not real. Now, today, I saw kids smoking weed. Like, it was like, okay, cops, look at me. I'm 15. I'm smoking weed, bro. What? Can't do shit. And I'm looking at cops and I'm like, damn, you guys can't really do shit, huh? Like, wow. I didn't do that when I was a kid, friend. I swear to you, if I was caught smoking marijuana, my ass would be dead. Not even dead. You know what? My booty will be on fire for like a month. Then my legs. This is what my adopted parents would do. The bamboo stick on the bottom of your feet. So every time you walk, that pain will remind you to never do that shit again. Then, if that doesn't work, then you get in the belt across the booty. And this time, it's wet. Oh, you ever had a wet, real leather belt smack you on the butt? Yeah. You guys never had that shit in North America, did you? A wet, soaking wet leather belt hurts more than a dry belt. Trust me. You guys have no idea. You guys didn't get the booty smaking like you claimed you did. You got a light booty sentence. That's what that is, friend. You didn't get harsh booty sentences. Okay. If you're also European, you understand this behavior, your parents did this and you know this tactic, yeah, it is very efficient. It does work. It does work. I got it millions of times, friend. Even on my hands, like, oof. Yeah, because I didn't steal. It was a point that, like, I picked it up and then I put it in my pocket and I was thinking, like, hey, maybe I can get away with it because I'm just a kid in Japan. Like, I'm a kid in Japan. I'm gonna get away with it, right? Ain't nobody gonna fucking stop me. I'm not bound to U.S. Well, yeah, I was kind of bound to the immigration rules, but I'm just saying, everybody, like, listen, you contact me, friend, and you got insulted when I told you no 3 times. So let's get back to the story instead of talking about my beatings. So you asked me for 15% finder's fee, right? I told you no, and there was a reason, and I tried to explain that reason, right? And you didn't even want to listen to that reason. Instead, you went on an Avengers attack or talk about previous things that you didn't watch in full. And this is why in this conversation, everybody, I tried to tell this gentleman to watch things in full so you understand it better. The narrative is very fucking important. This is why I keep telling people, like, if you don't watch it, then if you don't pay attention, then you're not educating yourself, and you never will, friend. And this is why I tell everyone, have you served your country yet? Have you done anything for your country? Have you done anything for your people? Then talk to me when you have. This is why I just don't get it with individuals right now. But as I said, when my Japanese friend Miro threw herself and told her story, and she was shy doing it, you guys threw your money at her and didn't talk shit about her. But when it's me, it's a male, it's different. That sexist bullshit has got to stop too, friend. This is why Miro is like doesn't want to accept some of the donations anymore, and she's like not avoiding this one guy. Oh my panda, he's a cess. He's a cess. Yeah, block his ass. But with that said, everyone, just trying to have a conversation to realize something about. And you did not present yourself with a resume, no portfolio, no like proof of like your networking or a LinkedIn account. That would have been, like I said, more efficient at the very beginning. If you want to network me through LinkedIn, friend, like every other client, even New York City Press Department, NYPD, they know how to find me, friend. This is why when rollerbladers out here recently talking about, it's hard to find you, really? Are you serious? I mean, I knew they were lying. Like, yeah, you didn't reach out. You don't like my approach because I call you guys out for what you guys do. So with that said, everyone, you guys have a good night. See ya. Wow, this butt truck's up that noisy.